Western Regional Minister Kwabena Otri Darko Mensah has charged oil and gas companies operating in the region to take steps to avoid a further spread of COVID-19 cases.
Now, the caution comes after 57 positive cases were recorded offshore at the Jubilee Field.
Now, the minister, who was speaking to City News after a briefing from the Regional Health Directorate in 2nd D on the situation, also charged the Petroleum Commission, which is the regulator, to immediately ensure that oil and gas firms are adhering to existing COVID-19 safety protocols.
The offshore Jubilee Field, operated by Tullow Oil Ghana, has around 1,000 workforce on the FPSO Kwame Nkrumah and other support service vessels, including the CSV Lancelot, which is connected to the FPSO. Lancelot provides services including accommodation. Tullow on Tuesday, 26 May, confirmed to City News that 2 persons on the CSV Lancelot had tested positive. The Ghana Health Services later confirmed on Thursday, 28 May, that contact tracing and testing of personnel on board the Kwame Nkrumah FPSO revealed 1 more positive case of COVID-19. Further contact tracing and testing by the Ghana Health Service confirmed on Friday, May 29th, that 57 of the 200 personnel on board the CSV Lancelot tested positive for COVID-19.
We had 2 cases that were confirmed, and then we did some contact tracing, and then about 50 of them are positive, but they're just asymptomatic. Yeah, they have their own isolation. They've engaged a hotel, and that's where they're keeping them. And they have another hotel in Accra, so they've sent some to Accra, and some of them will be in Accra there. So, but then we will be in charge. We will ensure that whatever the medical needs that they need, we will have to provide it, and we'll visit them often.
Although Tullow Ghana, in their confirmation statement on Friday, said oil production has not been affected, the Western Regional Minister is worried about the development. He is thus calling on the oil and gas companies, as well as the Petroleum Commission, to sit up and do better.
It is very important that the oil and gas industry in the Western region, which Ghana depends on fully 100%, is protected from any adverse effect of the COVID. It's very important, because when they go off, the lights will go off. Because we don't get gas to power, we don't get petrol to move our vehicles in and out, and even our industries. So I believe that the oil companies are international companies. They understand health, safety, and environment, and therefore it is very important and incumbent on them to make sure that they do the right thing. I believe that Petroleum Commission that works closely with them should also always be on the lookout to make sure that they practice proper health and safety, so that it doesn't affect Western region and also affect Ghana in the long run. So I believe that oil and gas companies need to sit up, really sit up.
The regional minister also had a caution for inhabitants of the region on the rising cases of COVID-19.
The disease doesn't move. Human beings that move the disease. So the idea is that social distancing is good, but sometimes our people don't listen. In fact, before we closed down the market circle, the Queen Mothers themselves were here with us, that their own people are becoming recalcitrant, and they cannot continue to be going to the market, always being afraid that they might catch the disease. So when I met the city authorities, I discussed with them that these are things that we need to take decisions on. Now people are even calling on us to look at Takwa market, because the numbers are also going up there. So I believe that after your interview, I'll be having a discussion with the mayor to see how Takwa we can also handle it.
It is unclear how Tullow Oil can sustain oil production at the Jubilee Field in case more positive cases are recorded